Hello, long time no see. You still in there? Haven't been in the workshop for quite a while. Long story, we'll get to that throughout the video. But first step, I'll show you here. Because of this, lots of tools that they're actually not too bad, but quite a few that don't even open or close. It's not too bad either. They're not even close. So we're going to start with a little bit of rust removal, as you do when you have a relatively open workshop near salt water. I was originally just going to sit down on the wire wheel, but thinking we might try the vinegar soak first, see how that goes. Something different. Just got a plastic tub, think it's probably not a bad size, maybe got about 1 litre of water in it. Here we've got 2 litres of double strength vinegar, white vinegar. So, going to tip the whole lot in. Then I'm going to add some salt. Tablespoon of salt per cup of vinegar. I don't know how many cups are in a litre, so let's just put that much. I couldn't find any table salt in the house. This is rock salt. I'll give it a stir. We'll see if it dissolves or not. Could possibly have started with some boiling water maybe to dissolve this. So we got the water, salt, vinegar. I think maybe just a little bit of pepper as well. Can't see why not. And then we'll chuck the tools in. They're quite nasty. A few of the larger things aren't completely covered. They're just going to put some water in that bottle, put another bit of water in. Hopefully this salt dissolves. That wasn't the best move. We'll let that soak overnight and we'll have a look in the morning and I'll kind of give you the update about what's been going on, and we'll head out and have a look at Renko, which is also getting a bit rusty.
Just here to pick Carl up. Going to head out to Renko and have a look at a few electrical problems I've been having. Usual thing, haven't used the boat in a while and corrosion gets into wiring pretty quickly. Generally only if they're bad connections, so it's a good chance to look at the ones that have perhaps failed and do a better job this time. Carl's in the process of putting a new floor in his tinning. Looks very nice. Check me out, Carl. I'm going to do some videoing for the first time in 18 months.
I'm very happy with this. Never an enthusiastic buyer of your new career.
Carl doesn't like office stew.
I'm much more of a fan of the Daniel Sit.
Here we are, back at Little Renko. This is the fuse holder between the solar charger and the battery. Obviously very bad. So that's the fuse that was in. Clearly kind of blown, but and corroded, I think. So I'm actually going to replace the fuse holder as well as the fuse. I think it was giving high resistance, which was making the solar charger think that the battery was full when it wasn't. So let's put a new one in, see what it says. This is interesting. It's saying absorption, but it's not even connected to the battery. So let's see what happens when we reconnect it.
It turns out that what happens is your GoPro battery goes flat, so I kind of didn't get to record that. But ultimately it did work, started charging the batteries again, which is great. Toying up with a couple of ways to go though. I like the idea of splitting the solar cells into 2 banks, so 3 panels and 3 panels rather than all 6 in one, and having 2 solar controllers, so there's full redundancy there. The other thing I've been experimenting with at the moment is making some ESP32 little monitors and things and controllers. I'll do a video on that down the track, whether you want me to or not. It's going to help me both monitor a float switch for a high water alarm. I think I've got that sitting here somewhere. So essentially just a float switch that goes off. And these devices are using the LoRa radio network, so they can transmit quite a fair way. Pete, Carl and I went out in the water and tested the distance and got a good couple of kilometres. Really, it's line of sight. It was just about when we go around a bend. I figure if I don't separate the solar into 2 totally separate systems, I can at least use the ESP32s to monitor whether it's charging or not, as well as a high water alarm. So at least if it fails or no, I can go and find it, fix it, instead of waiting till the battery's flat. Anyway, let's get back on the water.
This little boat is a little top hat that was built by a resident of the island. Spent a fortune having it re-glassed and everything actually, because You know, it was his baby. Sadly, he's since passed away. Had electric motor conversion, everything too. There was a little bit of rot here, so I've taken it out, put a new piece of marine ply in, starting to glass it. So I'm basically fixing this up, and then trim goes back on in order to get it on the market. So going to be selling this soon. Little 20-something foot top hat.
Morning. Let's have a look where we're at.
Definitely cleaner, but I also think we could sit at least another 12 hours. It's been 12. I think the recommendation is 24. In the spirit of reconnecting with the workshop, and spring's coming, Southern Hemisphere, let's have a look at a few other jobs to do. This is essentially a fire pump, but Howley used this on Delstar as like an emergency bilge pump too, so really good for like salvage, these sorts of fire pumps. But as you can see, seen better days after its life living in salt water, pumping salt water. So I'm going to clean it up. Now, I did originally look, it's missing a fuel cap, it's broken its little kill switch here, the exhaust's obviously very rusty. So I jumped on the net, and it turns out I was actually seeing if I could get the exhaust cover. The whole exhaust is like under $20. I was looking if I could buy the cap. Turns out the whole fuel tank and filter, everything, is also under $20. This made me laugh. This was, I think they're basically saying it's made of plastic and metal because they tell you the material. Turns out this is made from plastic and irony, so we'll interesting to see how that pans out. I can see already it's a slightly different design. This runs to the side rather than the front, so let's see how compatible these aftermarket parts turn out to be. Take the exhaust off first, it looks the easiest. Once these two are off, we can clean up a bit more because less things are in the way. May take even more off, air filters and stuff. We'll see how we go. Alright, these are feeling quite rusty and stuck. I'm not sure what I got in the way of heat here, but in the meantime, a little bit of shift, you bastard. We're going to need the heat probably. I always feel like this is the liquid equivalent of thoughts and prayers, but it's not going to hurt, I guess. Alright, in the meantime, let's see how these goes. 2 more bolts on the bottom here holding the fuel tank on. These ones are a 10. And not quite as rusty as the other ones. Okay, it looks like this screw here, one of these two, just looking at this one, it's definitely a thread in the back here. So let's get an extension and try and get that one out. I'll leave that spark plug in for now so rust doesn't fall in, even though it is a little bit in the way. It's just rocking backwards and forwards. Oh, and if ever you need a reason not to lend tools, yeah, not a hammer. Well, not a nail hammer anyway. There we go. We'll take this little governor arm off. I might chuck that in here too. Hopefully it's strong enough still. It's pretty straightforward, but I'll get a photo just for springs. Can't really go wrong, but oh no, there are quite a few holes, so yeah, worth getting a photo to put it back together. I'm going to give the bolt a clean up just on the wire wheel. It's come up reasonably nicely. Fuel tank came with a new filter for the outlet and a new strainer for the filler cap. Alright, this one is in here, so we'll thread that in. It's got a little O-ring that comes with it. Don't want to crush the seal too much, just let it do its job. Now we put this on the wire wheel, I'm just going to give it a tiny spray, and then I'll thread it into the new tank temporarily just to remind myself what it's for. Same with the 2 nuts here, so I'll keep all that together. Okay, put those nuts on the wire wheel now, so I got one here and one somewhere on the far side of the workshop that I can't find. Should have put it on a bolt first and then done it. Anywho, there is something vaguely satisfying about this kind of thing. Nobody wants to see things get in this state. You're much better off, you know, finding a nice fish bin to put things in. A little bit of prevention goes a long way, but a bit of restoration satisfying too. Alright, a little bit more L-tap. Let's pop that in along with everything else. Alright, while we've still got spark plug in, exhaust on, everything, I'm actually going to blow it with some compressed air, get some of the main gunk off without any of it going inside the engine. I've ordered one of these switches, so I'm thinking we just take the whole recoil unit off. That way we can do any cleaning we need to do in there, as well as replace the switch. On the sailing boat, I did find a larger screwdriver, so... Whoa. It's an ordinary screwdriver, but I'm going to give it a bit of a tap. Something Arnie said to me. Speaking of which... yeah, so... Sadly, Arnie passed away since I last saw you. It's kind of a tough thing to talk about, to be honest with you, but yeah, did my apprenticeship with Arnie. Good mate. Sadly gone way too young. Anyway, he's the one who said to me, don't be afraid to use any screwdriver like an impact screwdriver, just the knot can remove the corrosion, you know. It's not the same as an impact, but it helps. Obviously you don't want to hit it so hard you break it. Bit of gunk in here too, so I might get the compressed air in again. Let's clean up this flywheel where it goes against the coil, pickups and everything. Not gonna hurt. I think I'm just gonna do a bit of a light oily sand on it. Definitely got some serious pitting in it, but oh, how far do we go? Alright, 3 bolts, let's take it off. I've actually got a wire wheel on the angle grinder. Let's just hit it up properly. Maybe give it a respray, see what paint I've got. It's not going to be great, but it's not going to be worse. Anywhere the paint was coming off, you can see we've gone right through here. I've taken it off. Everywhere that it was sticking, I've just left. A few more bubbling spots, might get that quickly. As I said, it's just a tool. It's not a restoration. Alright, while that dries, let's see if we can get this exhaust off after the spray or not. No. Stud snapped, even with a 1/4 inch socket. Clearly the L-tap spray didn't work. I'm going to try this one gently. I don't have any heat. Had this little one, the sort of map gas oxy thing, but it's all empty. I think that's all I've got at the moment. If we get it off, we could weld a nut on, take it out that way. This one feels a bit better. Is it the nut coming out or the stud coming out? Stud by the looks of it. Okay, top one stud came out, bottom one stud snapped. I'm going to try the vice grips first. If not, maybe weld the nut on. Can't find any vice grips, so let's have a go at welding a nut on. That sounds like fun. Let's pop that in here. Remind me I did that, will you? Alright, let's try this one. Pop that over, put a bit of weld on, see if it comes out. Alright, let's see what happens. My money's on snapping it flush, so we have to drill it out. Oops. Broke a bit of fin off. I used to be embarrassed about making that type of mistake. Now I just think, that happens. A little bit of Cooper's, just for luck. I think we've won. Hey, check that out. Alright, so it's fine. Look at that. Looks perfect. Let me see if I can order a couple of studs for here. If not, I'm just going to put some bolts in. It's a $500 water pump. It's not a vintage car restoration. So I reckon we now get airbox off and maybe just look at all these linkages, because that looks like it's not going to move freely. Ooh. Let's take this apart. I think we just soak both these bits as well. I think here, soak them, put it back together. Just get a happy snap, just in case. It's amazing how obvious things can seem when you take them apart, and how not obvious when you're putting it back together. Let's see. I'm going to do a really quick carburetor clean. I was actually doing one of these pumps at Adrian's workshop the other day, and the jet was jammed, the thread was stripped, etc. Turns out that buying a new carburetor, pretty much complete with all these linkages, was about $20 as well, so it's cheaper to buy a new one than it is to clean it commercially, but for yourself, it's worth it. Ugh, bit nasty. So much gunk came out of this little carburetor. Let's just take the float out, hopefully, one way or the other. That way. Let's see, this jet. It's blocked. It's actually not too bad, to be honest with you. Looks like most of the problem was the fuel that just evaporated in the bottom of the bowl. After finishing the carburetor, I went out in the water with Carl and Pete to have a look at some drilling rigs that had appeared on the river.
High Speed Rail Authority, Rockwell Drilling.
After we determined that they're related to the high-speed rail they're planning, I decided to hang out with Pete and Carl and see if I could pick up some high-end marine engineering tips from those guys.
And give it a twirl. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Give it a yeah.
Like that.
I've got some sandpaper somewhere up there.
I did. I've got some sandpaper on the board. I did all that.
Okay. Give it a good tightening there.
Why are we doing black? Are we doing red as well? Or?
Yeah.
I love seeing a man operating at his absolute peak.
Oh, do you beat?
Lefty tighty, righty loosey.
Yeah, the beat though. See how that is? That's not right.
Yeah, maybe
that's
coming
pulled
off
out.
Yeah.
You don't think it should be that floppy?
Should it not be?
Do you want give it a little.
I don't do floppy.
While you've been doing that, I've been doing the maths in my head about how long it takes to walk home.
So what, you're in for another 4 minutes? You can tell she's taken on.
Yeah. So normally it's quite even?
Yeah, it would be completely even.
Right, okay.
Let's see if she's up to the...
Yeah, right, it's a fair bit of water, isn't it?
And you'll see the problem with the float switch.
Is this floated off?
Yeah. Oh, it's actually much more than I thought. There you go, there's a float switch.
Yeah, right.
Sitting there quite happily.
So the float, if you pull that now, it works?
No, because it's also...
Broken and disconnected. Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's...
Did you twist the wires together twice or only once? Is this a technique you learned in electrical engineering school?
Yeah, I've got a degree in this. During my masters, they said if in doubt, use a bit of gaffer, and it's how you turn a manual into an auto.
There you go. It's quite professional. So what do you want to do? Just get this working again?
Yeah. Now. Oh, it's done it again.
There you go, I'll just hold it.
No, it gets really annoying. Surely we can tape it up.
Okay, hang on.
This tape is not that complicated.
Okay, so I reckon what we do...
That's...
See, that's professional.
No.
Still doesn't work.
And now the other one stopped too. It's because we've got salt on our fingers, I reckon. Oh.
It's because it's a really bad idea. But other than that, it's perfect. Now, we've got to get this here switch working with this head bilge. What's that? It's brown. Where did it go? Can't be going both ways. No, it's a modern thing. Ugh. This is what our bath of rusty tools looks like at the moment. So let's get them out one by one, start cleaning them up. We actually need to neutralise the acid a bit. It's not strong acid, you know, it's diluted vinegar, let's be honest, but we do need to neutralise it. Also got to clean, so I might actually tip all this out, fill it with fresh water, and we'll sort of wash it in that essentially to start with. Alright, now fresh water, a little bit of bicarb, just to neutralise any remaining vinegar. You can see here there's a kind of rust like this, but it's coming off really easily with a bit of a hand brush, no wire wheel. Got a funny feeling that's going to rust really fast when it dries though, so we're going to have to put some lanolin or paint or whatever on these things straight after cleaning them and drying them, that's for sure. On the train today, going up to Adrian's workshop to bring a boat down and launch it. Then I'll stay down here, hence not driving or riding up. I hate trains. Anyway, nice station. This is the boat we're launching today, put the new Outboard on, well, new second-hand. The only interesting thing really is just how easy it is, because this is a center console, how easy it is just to flip the handle of one of these 703 controls from one side to the other. Essentially, one bolt through the center, then a little bit of plastic bracket, 2 screws, move it over. You end up with the trim tilt on the pinky side rather than the thumb side, which isn't ideal, but it's a lot better than buying a custom, you know, right-hand control.
The great thing about filming with Adrian is that we always fall straight back into a smooth professional flow, like we'd never stopped.
Can we talk?
Huh? There you go. Yeah.
You can talk.
No, you go.
No,
you did it.
There you go.
Why does that look so bad?
Because I made it.
Looks wonderful.
So it had an aluminium elbow which went the wrong way, and I was going to get Stu to cut it and modify it, but decided instead of cutting a good genuine one, I'd make one. So just lazy cut the plug.
Right.
Well, cut that out with the plasma cutter, cut a long slot, laid the pipe, and then split the side out of the pipe.
Nice.
And laid it into it.
And as you say, don't modify it original. You still got it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least the air's blowing in and across the blower, not just in the middle.
Yep.
Spread out across the blower.
Yeah, nice.
So should make it nice to...
So you plasma cut this yourself?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we've got the little plasma cutter we bought the other week. It's been quite handy. So Stu's going to fix the revs on it this morning. It's going too fast.
Yeah. Do you want me to teach you how to do it while I...
Yeah, you can show me how to do it. Yeah.
Okay. So what's it doing?
29.50 at the moment. So we're going to bring it back to 25.
All right. Nice.
So we'll probably take out one of them big shims and see what happens.
Gotcha. I'm with you.
And then we'll go again.
Yeah. So the shims here.
Yeah. So there's an idle, what they call the idle spring is under this cap in there.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And then this is your high-speed spring and shims.
Yep. And so this bolt goes right through to the spring.
Yes. And so then that adjusts the tension on the spring inside there for idle. So... But what we've now got to do, we'll have to undo the lock nut and everything, and then that'll all come apart into a screaming pile of pus.
Yeah.
And then we'll take out some shims.
Then you go and get all the bits.
Yeah. There's your idle spring.
Right. Okay.
So that the bolt is that needle goes all the way back up to the bolt.
Yep. Yep. So it's kind of like a plunger, a
cap.
and
Yep.
then-
Well, they call that the low speed cap. So yeah. Spring, seat, spring and seat. The seat's is that little piece on the bottom.
So yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Seat here.
Yeah.
A little bit similar to an injector in some way.
Yeah, it all like it all is. Yeah.
Same principles.
Same principles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spring. And there's all the shims.
And so there's thick and thin ones.
Yeah. So there's.
So you
They look like 10 thous. We'll get the wherever we get the verniers. I just left the cover off so the water could get in.
Yeah. That's the best reason.
Yeah, 10 thou.
Yeah. Okay. Well, spot on.
Yep. 7. So there's 70 thou of that.
Right. Well, 40,000 millimetre, isn't it?
Yeah. And there's 200 thou there. So we're going to see what we need to take out to get back. We'll go and look at the book.
Yeah.
So this is a different sort of high-speed spring assembly.
Okay.
So this one you actually screw. This basically, it's this piece, but it's actually longer.
Right.
And it's got a cap, and you can screw it in and out
So
to
you
adjust.
don't shim it at all?
Don't shim it. You just screw it in and out to adjust the tension. All the 71s, 92s are all like that.
Oh, okay. So mine would be like that.
Yes. No, yours is different again because yours is variable speed.
Right.
This is limiting speed. This is road.
Oh, this is road. Right.
So
road versus marine.
marine, yeah.
Yeah.
So for each 10 thou shims added, the RPM will be increased approximately 10 RPM. So 1 thou, 1 rev.
1 rev. Yeah. No, that's a nice, easy formula.
Yeah. Well, that means that spring's going to be. What are we doing? 20, we're doing 3. Nearly going to have no. Let's put none in there and see what it does.
Wow.
Because then we're going to take out. We want to get it back to 20. We want to get it back to 26, but it doesn't.
So you're
always.
going to take 400 RPM off it.
Yeah. So it
That's more than all of that, theoretically. Yeah.
Yes, but sometimes it doesn't work like it says.
Not linear. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Okay.
So I reckon we'll dive in. We'll just bail all the shims out.
Yeah, and then see where you're at there.
Then see where we're at there.
And then interpolate.
Yeah.
All right.
So and there's different springs. They'll have different colour codes on them too.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, the blue and red.
Red, yeah. And if we have trouble getting it, we'll change this to the high speed assembly and put like a 92 type one in there.
Right. Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. We'll
change it.
Just change the whole assembly. Yep. Yep.
Nice.
Nice spring, and the springs, idle springs are different too.
Yep.
There's blue,
Colour code,
yellow,
as well.
different ones, and it also does make a difference when you come from idle to high speed. It makes it either smoother, and it'll change when you're taking off at the lights.
Right.
So
Okay.
a heavier spring will give you a little bit more. It won't want to droop as much as you're taking off at the lights.
Gotcha.
A lighter spring, it'll droop more and want to stall.
And then pick up again as you go.
Yeah.
Yep. All set.
Yep. That took 400 out.
Yep. And it was about 300.
Yeah. So you can see how it doesn't always equate to.
No, it's a good rule of thumb though.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, and the spring rate must change as they get older too.
Oh yeah, and it's not going to compress uniformly. Like it won't be a linear change.
So, where can we stick 50 there? We've got 25, 40.
Yeah.
That's 26.
So
25.
5 of the little ones back in.
That was 75. So we're just over.
Too much. Yeah.
So we got 1, 2, 3.
Your counting's really coming along.
It is 7. Maybe we'll be about 2,600.
Yep.
That'll give him 150. That'll give him 2,450 on the road
Yeah, gotcha.
in gear.
Yeah, right. So you lose about 150, do you?
150, yeah.
Okay, nice.
You can also, if you put it back in the wrong spot, when you put it on, you won't be able to stop the engine.
Yeah, right, because it's on the wrong side
of the
and it's
pin.
not doing
Yep. And if you're really good, you'll actually can put it into full throttle
yeah,
and have the engine
right.
run away.
When you try to stop it. So hang on. So this is your stop.
Yep. So it has to be all the way around there. Because with stop is pull the shaft back.
That way.
So you need to make sure that pin.
So it has to be that side of the pin so it can do that.
Yep.
Gotcha.
There's a little water dragon that's taken up residence around the workshop, so we'll definitely have to give him a name at some stage. Next job was to go and pick up a 353 that we're going to use to repower a water pump for Rob the oyster farmer.
Do you want me to give it a kick here?
Yeah, just hold on the starter motor.
Yeah, hang on. There we go. I reckon your trailer's almost empty now.
Yep. Dilly, one more to go.
I don't even know what your name is, but nice to meet you. Oh, hello. I can already tell you apart. We look nothing like each other. Hello.
While I was at Adrian's workshop, my little punt sank that I used to get to and from the island, I think it may have been from electrolysis, because there was quite a big hole that had opened up directly below the battery, and the battery wasn't in a box, so a bit of a lesson there too. I thought I'd grown enough barnacles on the hull to protect against that kind of thing happening, but obviously not enough. Anyway, big thanks to David and Jaden for helping me salvage it. And there's the hole.
Alright, 5 o'clock-ish now. Got the outboard to the bottom. Let's pull it up and just give it a flush here outside. Get some fresh water onto it. I'm just going to stick the hose in this, fill it up and soak the mechanism. Silence the cover off so we can unbolt the carburetors. And we'll take the reed valves out too. One of the advantages to this is no starter motor, no battery connected. So the boat doesn't end up one big anode getting eaten away by the current from the battery. One small silver lining, just ate the boat instead. Awesome. Alright, I'm going to soak these reed valves in fresh, blow it out with some compressed air, a bit of WD, the usual routine. See that bottom bearing? The last crank I had a really bad bottom bearing in a 40, and you can see how the water's just literally sitting captivated above the main seal. So that will just hold water. We've got to get all of that out. Okay. Definitely getting too old for this. Alright, that got lots more water out. It's that water sitting in that bearing. I'm going to fill that with WD when we get it right way up again. But I'm going to blow a bit of compressed air through. We'll rotate the flywheel so we get the ports open for the two different cylinders at different times. Oh, that's right. I don't have a Nito fitting for my air gun. That's really annoying. Let's pinch one off another tool because I need it. This is the one I put in the vinegar and it's just eaten so much away that it leaks. That's a rusty one I didn't even bother putting in, but I'll see if I can find a good one on a different tool and we'll cannibalise it. Actually, hopefully this works because I think this is one of the stainless ones I bought from Renko, and these stainless ones only seem to work particularly well with the matching stainless female, but we'll try. See, there's no water pooled in that bottom bearing anymore, but I'm going to blow some more air and then loads of WD-40. I'm going to pull the carburetors apart now, give them a bit of a rinse, a bit of a blowout. Then I think I actually might soak them in metho overnight, not because they need to soak overnight. I'm just getting tired, it's been a long day. The bad thing about these boats sinking like this is you've got to do it as soon as the boat gets lifted. You can't go, oh, I'll do it tomorrow.
But I am happy to do the minimum, as always. It's got me this far in life, which isn't very far. It's got me to the point in life where I can't afford to buy a new boat. There's probably a lesson in that, isn't there? I've been putting this back together. I think it looks a lot better than it did, certainly if you compare the original photo. Got the exhaust. I bought myself a pair of exhaust stud. Turns out it only comes with one. Was expecting two, so I used the old one there, that's fine. What I did want to quickly look at though, this is the service manual for the Honda GP160, and there's a little procedure for adjusting the governor, and I thought, let's do that. I'm thinking we have to take this off again because it says you have to look if the butterfly valve for the cover is open. So let me take this cover off quickly and we'll go through that procedure. It's only a few steps. Turn the governor arm clockwise to fully open. So that's fully open. Then it says rotate the governor arm shaft as far as it'll go. So that definitely hits a hard stop. So turn the governor arm, rotate the governor arm shaft as far as it'll go in the same direction. Shaft rotated clockwise. Butterfly valve fully open. That shaft rotated clockwise as far as it can go. Tighten the nut. I think that's it. So pretty straightforward really. Just nice to know there is a procedure that's relatively easy to follow. I also got a little bit of longer fresh hose for here. So let's put the fuel tank back on now. Leaking carburetor bowl. Let's turn the fuel off. Found a new little fibre washer in the outboard drawer. Oh well, no leak this time. Choke on. Why not? We owe it to ourselves to live a little. Ignition. Alright, a few little issues. I don't think the throttle's working properly. I have to have another look at the governor, I think. And the new kill switch is a bullet connector and the old lead's a spade connector, so a little bit of work to do there too, but I'm going to park that because it's killing me not having a boat. I need to get this on the water. Probably not a lot I can do now tonight. Pretty sure that fuel is now clean. Been pumping it into a clear container, siphoning off the good fuel, getting rid of the water, a little bit of metho in it just to, you know, get rid of the last bit of water, because metho, methylated spirits, ethanol essentially, will help there. To cheer myself up about my own boat troubles, I went to see Dave's broken engine mounts that somehow he managed to drive all the way home with.
Both broken. That gear selector's completely bent in there, isn't it?
Is it a solid metal bar?
Looks like it. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know, but it's ripped through the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah, right. So it's broken the bottom cowling too. It's smashed the metal under there.
Where's that?
See where the rod goes up there. Have a look at the metal there.
So it must pivot on this thing. This should be over here somewhere, shouldn't it? Or by the engine. I see, yeah, so it's got a little dowly thing going through it, isn't it? Grommet thing.
Pay someone to fix that, and there's going to be a little bit of body bleeding.
So that pole should go straight up.
Yes.
And then it should have a twist. This goes onto there, doesn't it? That's why I couldn't get it into it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh dear. Oh my.
Should we go find you a new outboard?
Yeah, this could be a long one, couldn't it?
Alright, let's give Adrian a call, find out where it is.
Yeah.
Not all heroes wear mohawks.
No.
This one does. At the same time, we went to pick up a new hull for me. That one in the picture actually turned out to be a long shaft transom, So I swapped that for a sort of smaller lower punt that also turned out to be a long shaft transom. But it sunk, so we're on to number 3 anyway.
Alright, with this outboard, just drop the gearbox off. I'll get some of this mud out inside, not this huge issue. And then we may as well do the impeller while it's off. I'm going to run it down here. I don't have any earmuffs, but while the gearbox is off, I'll just fire it up. That way you can't melt the impeller. And I just won't run it very long to get it super hot. To make it easier to tilt up, I'm going to clamp it on. But before I clamp it on, I am just going to put a little bit of this Yamaha grease on the threads here. Just so that winds in.
Let's not get it too hot. That was less than a minute. Yeah, they always say if you can still touch a cylinder head with your hand, you haven't cooked it. So, but I think that's enough. Let's not push our luck.
The oil in this gearbox is looking a bit milkshaky, a bit emulsified. So it looks like we might be doing oil seals as well. Anyway, it's never going to be easier now while it's in the workshop before it goes back down in the water. So, oil seals, oil, water pump.
Well, thanks for watching. Sorry there was such a huge gap without making any videos. That project I was working on during that time has now pretty much wrapped up. So, at a little bit of a crossroads as to what to do next. Took me a little while to get back into the rhythm of filming, as you may have noticed, and I'm sort of pleased to say I actually quite enjoyed it in the end. It was nice to get back into that headspace, get away from the keyboard and you know, get into the boats again. So I think that sort of bodes well for trying to have another shot at doing the channel full time. We'll see. I'll definitely do another video soon. I've found a third hull now, so we're going to get this Yamaha going, put it on that third hull. Once I get this boat on the water, we can head out to Renko again. I can't get there at the moment, and I'll show you what needs doing there. Quite a bit of work, which puts me in a situation where I need to sort of make another decision, which is, do I keep Renko, do I sell it, do a smaller boat, maybe find another sort of part owner to get the boat being used more and make it more affordable, the ongoing costs of it. So there are options there, but we'll talk more about that in the next video.
It's their food, not yours. Shoo. Shoo. Good morning. Out you come. Hello, Daisy. It's all right, Daisy. Come back. It's just me. All right. Let's get this day underway. Who let the chickens out? Cluck, 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 cluck. Come on, Daffy. You can do it. All right. See ya. You don't eat their food. Poor Daffy, she's so old now. She wakes up, the gate's closed. She stands there and falls asleep again, standing up. Come on, Daisy, you have some breakfast. Come on, Daffy. How you going, mate? Come on. Come on, there we go. Get the day underway.
Sadly, not long after filming that clip, Daffy did pass away. She was getting quite old, as you could probably tell, falling asleep, standing up. Look, she had a nice life in the garden. She lived quite a long time. Got to free range her whole life, basically. So, you know, I think that's, you know, at least that's something I feel good about, that she had that opportunity. But down to just Daisy now, so a bit sad. All right, well, take care, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully in a week or two.